てなわけで今回はツボ男やっていこうかなって思います。何気に初めてです。まあ何気にこういうのもありなんじゃないかなって思う。
There's no feeling more intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you had an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here.
あ、いいね。
Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop with the game. Don't worry, I'll save your progress, always.
あ、いいね。
Mistakes. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002 titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazor, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products. In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery. And the player is constantly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident once you have the correct method, the correct equipment, or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real.
いい、美しい。美しい。ここかな。あ、ダメだ。あー、ダメだ。待って。あそこのくぼみをどうするかだな。思いだと届かないな。どうやったらいいのこれ。あ、いけた。引っ張って。よし、オッケー。オッケー。よし。うわっじゃねえ。うわっじゃねえよ。何してんねん。おい、何しとんな。こう。そう。やばい。遊んでると落ちるって。落ち着こう。ね。一回落ち着こう。一回、いいよ。逆回しがむずい。勝手なことしないでください。勝手なことしないで。勝手なことすんなって。どうしたらいいんだこれ。これをこうしてこうか。
The obstacles in Sexy Hiking are unyielding. That makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazzuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. but I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them.
あ
And it's
ー、
our
一回落ち
repeated
着こう。
attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real.
そこのさ、ボイスがうるせえ。
When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas. And that can be like working with quickset cement.
あー、
You
引っ張っ
mold your ideas
て。
into a certain shape that
あ
can be played with.
なん
And in the
て。
process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you
じゃあ、見
can't
て。
change the world.
はい。
Not without breaking it into pieces and
Ah.
starting fresh with new ideas.
よし。無理無理無理無理。ちょっとごめんかな。はい。よいしょ。なんてなんてよ。ねえねえねえ。ねえねえねえねえねえねえねえねえねえねえねえねえ。よいしょ。よいしょ。ああ。ちょっと待って、わかんない。ここはこうやって、落ち着こうね。はい。はい。ご了承。ご了承。よし、ご了承。さ、ゆっくりやってるつもりなのに。
For years now, people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated objects, bought in a store and assembled into a world. And for the most part, that hasn't happened, because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that they're badly made.
あんま飛ばないでね。
I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context. And once the moment is gone, they
あー、ダメ
transform
だ。
into
そうやっ
garbage.
て。幅が
In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds.
待って、これをこうして、はい。なんでだよ。はい。はい。はい。はい。はい。違うね。ここを、こうして、こういって、ゆっくり行こうぜ。あーじゃねえんだよ。あーじゃ。いい音。今のは俺が悪い。今のは俺が悪い。今のは俺が悪い。はい。どうしようかな。よいしょ。俺は、てっぺんを見たいんじゃ。よいしょ。はー、足りない長さが。飛んで、はい。なんでいいわ。もう。はい、今の遅い。はい。ほら。もうこいつが悪いって。こいつが悪いって、ほんとに。俺の命令に従え。俺の命令に従え。お前。俺の命令に従う。じゃねえんだよ。こっちがだわ。はい。はい。今ね、掴みたいところに掴めなかった。はい。はい。はい。はい。
Over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet.
おお、危ない危ない
It
危
now
ない。
vastly outnumbers and outweighs the things that are fresh and untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash. But only trash culture. Be games, be movies, be music, be philosophy.
引き寄せの術で、よし。おう。うん。
Maybe this is what digital culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain.
あ、ここ
A
怖い。
landfill with everything we ever thought of in it. Grand, infinite.
よかったよかったよかったよかった怖かった。勢いでいきたいな、もう。あ、そうそう。で、くるっていって、よーし偉い。おじさん偉いよ。どこが落ちるのそれ。あ、ここ地面ね。んここを掴ん
There's
で。
3D models of breakfast.
待って。
Scan magazines, green screen Shia LaBeouf, banned stuff scenes on Live League. Facebook's got lifelike bots with unbranded adverts and candid shots of Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups.
ああ、死んだかと思っ
Epic
た。
failed GIFs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled,
いや、余計なことすんな、余計なことすんな。
untitled.
余計なことはするなよ。いい？絶対だ。いや、多分これ角度悪いな。あ、こうだ。どうしたらいいんだ？ いや、こう。
Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds until some newer thing beckons and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight.
あ、待って。うまい。うまかったよ。よしよし。落ちたくない。もうここまで来たら落ちたくない。ああ、そこのバリケードがありがたい。奥に行きたいね。こう。いや、違うな。こう。そうそうそうそう。で、はあ、はあ、はあ、はあ、はあ、はあ、はあ、はあ、一気にいっちゃう。よし。戻ってきた。おー、書店さん。ここ書店さんです。子供がいる。やあ、ぼやー。
The thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Mary Pickford.
おー。息ができない。やった。やだやだやだやだやだやだやだ。 やだ。
In this context, it's tempting to make friendly content that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland things?
どこ行ったらいいのこれあと。高く上がって違うね。あの上？子供の方もしかして。ボールに刺して。でも子供の方いけるかこれ。でも左行っちゃう、右行っちゃうか。滑るんだよな、この滑り台。すごいね。当たり前のことを当たり前のように言ってる今。でもさ、ほら。だよな。ここ。ここ。さっき言ってたじゃん。俺。今自分でやった。今自分でやりました。今自分で。やっぱここ？でもさ、ここってさ、上じゃないよね。ここ？ここっぽいな。これ掴めると思う？うるせえ！愉快な音楽を鳴らすんじゃねえ。最大の煽りだよね。本当に。この落ちた時に流す愉快な音楽。やっぱダメだ。うるせえ